Welcome to Play Arkham. This is a short news update. I have just released the digital version of the game Play Arkham, and it's now available on playarkham.azurewebsites.net. And the goal for this video is to show some tips and tricks how to use the Play Arkham digital version. To get started, you can press the Arkham Horror link in the menu, and then you have the game ready to play. A few things to notice is that you have in the upper right corner a music playlist, so you can change some music, play some music, set the volume, switch to another tune. That's a set of open source or free to use music that are horror inspired. I would also recommend you to press the F11 button to enter the full screen mode, and then you can start to play the game. For now, I have only included the Night of the Settled campaign, which is included in the core box. I'm planning to include more campaigns later on as they are being released, and much of this is going through in the Let's Play series. Some things by the interface here is that on many cards you have these icons or toolbars that pop up when you hover the mouse over the card. That introduces the actions you can do with the card. So for instance, this is the zoom card, and when you zoom the card you get a better view of this. And one thing I can mention is that I now use the official Fantasy Flight released images for the cards, so they are a bit low in resolution, in contradiction to the ones that I've used in the Let's Play series, which is my own deck of cards which I have scanned. When you are in the zoomed mode, you can use some key combinations or keys to navigate. You can press the right and left arrow keys to switch among the different investigators to look. You can also press the up or down arrow to flip the card and check the backside instead. You can press enter to select, or you can press escape to exit the zoomed mode. So I can also mention about the customize deck function. This is where you can see which cards you have available to the left, the cards that currently are in your deck to the right, and you can press the minus to sell a card for now. And when you begin, you only have 0 level cards, which doesn't cost an experience. So, and here you can have a counter that you can see how many cards you have left to put in your deck and how many experience you have left to purchase cards by. And if you add cards and have 2 or more of them, they are removed from this list. You can also see the cards that are available, but you haven't enough experience to buy them. But just to know what you can look for or plan for in the future. So when you have added all the cards that you are interested in, you press OK, and then you are ready to start. This is the play area where you play your scenario, and in the top left corner you have the investigators, and this time we only have one investigator. And here we have the toolbar icons for zoom card, flip it, and resign the player. And you have some tokens on the card. These are your starting resources, and the green one is a custom token that can help you to keep track of your current number of actions. In the below part you have your deck, your hand, your in-play cards, threat area, and discard pile. These cards have some different functions, and in the deck area you can accept, besides zooming and flipping the cards, also shuffle the deck, where all cards will be shuffled and placed face down. You can also place the top card. First issue is to flip it, and when you see it you can place it in the back, so you navigate among the cards. And you can also edit the cards, and you get a UI where you can see which cards you have and place them as you would like to have them. You can place them on top of each other in different piles, and when you are done with your correct order you would like to place them in. For instance, if you would like to have the research library on top, since there are some cards that allows you to look at the top 3 cards and rearrange them as you please to do. In this case I would like to have the shriveling like the third, and the knife is the second, and the research library is the top card. And when you are done you press escape, and here you can see you have the research librarian, the knife, and the shriveling. So that allows us to flip the cards as we would like to. The hand, you can besides navigating through them, you can only interact with the top card. So if you would like to draw a card to another location, like to the in-play area, like for this flashlight, you can't drag that one, so you must click on it to place it on the top, and then you can drag it to the play area. You can also use this button to pick a random card. This will shuffle the deck and select one card and place it on the top. So if you're instructed to discard a random card from your hand, you can use this button to pick a random card, and then the top one you can discard. Also, if you are zoomed in this area, you can use the arrow keys to navigate between cards until you find the card you would like to have, and then you can press escape. The in-play area, in here you can also exhaust a card when you have used it or for another reason. You can also place tokens on them by dragging them. Not all tokens could be placed on all cards, but in this case I think you can drag almost any token to the card. I'm not sure if you would like to have that, but that you can do. If you discard the card, the tokens will be removed and discarded as well. In the threat area, you can place cards. Normally a flashlight isn't a candidate for threat areas, but you can also place tokens on cards in the threat area. So in almost any location you can use tokens on cards. The tokens aren't visible if you put them up in your hand, but if you place them back, they are still kept. Not until you discard them, they are gone. So these icons here are pretty standard and used throughout the UI. Here we have the act and the agenda decks, and normally you only navigate when you flip it, and then you navigate to the next agenda, and they are then placed in the back. So if you navigate through the agenda, you find the first and second card again. So, and this works in the same way. The area below here is the token area, where you can find tokens and drag them to different other places. If some tokens can't be dragged to some locations, like the act cannot have more than the clue tokens, and the agenda can only receive the doom token. So there are some limitations. Here is the location area, where you can see your locations, and this one has an extra icon that is to remove a location, and when you remove them, they are placed in this add new location. So here you can, if you are here, you can add more locations and remove them as you would like to, or as the instruction tells you to do. When you move between locations, you can take your investigator card, the mini card, and draw it to another location. Of course, you need to check which location you can travel to from the location you are currently. So the game doesn't stop you to do crazy things, so you have to think for yourself. Here we have some other decks. You have the reference card for the different settings that you have selected, the difficulty, and this indicates what the different chaos tokens would do. You have the encounter deck, and yeah, I have already talked about these toolbar icons. The out of play deck, where you have some special cards. You can also use the plus to add a card, and then you can search for a card either by name, like Daisy's tote bag, and when you click it, this card is added to the out of play deck. You can of course remove it from the deck, so it isn't with anymore. You can also search for a card by adding the number of the card, like 85, way to survive. So it's a bit extra help if you need to find a card that isn't included in the scenario from start. You have the discard pile. One thing to think about is if you defeat an enemy and place it in the discard pile, it will also end up in the victory what's it called, the victory display, if the monster or enemy has victory points, like for instance the Ghoul Priest, which has a victory point of 2. So if you place that one in the discard pile and then check the victory display, you are automatically getting the Ghoul Priest there. Also, if you have some, like the cellar, this also has a victory condition. If you remove all the clues from there, you will also see that it's appearing in the victory display, so you get experience for that one when the scenario is ended. This chaos token, you can click it to randomize a new chaos token. So when you need to do a skill test, just click this one, and by all means consult the reference card to look up specific chaos tokens. This is the face card that helps you to keep track of the current phase and round. So you always start at the investigation phase of round 1, and you can follow the instructions here, and the blue is links that will help you to do things like investigation phase ends. This will take you flip to the enemy phase. You can also click here. And the upkeep phase, we have some specific things like reset actions that will reset the number of tokens you have. Like if you have used all 3 of them, you can press the reset actions. We come here and all characters will have their 3 actions back to start. Reset actions will also, if you have exhausted a card, will also ready it. If you have cards in play, why can't I drag it there? Perhaps, no, I don't know. Anyway, that one, okay, it couldn't. Yeah, it's an event card. Okay, so if you have exhausted a magnifying glass, this isn't a card you can exhaust, but if you have that, any card that is exhausted in play or threat area, or if you, for example, have an enemy in a location. Yeah, if you want to place an enemy, like if you draw an enemy or something like that, and you want to spawn it in the location, you just drag it to the location and it will appear in the right corner. So if you have exhausted any cards, when you click the ready each exhausted card, they are automatically readied and good to go. And then draw 1 card and gain 1 resource. So if you click that one, you get 1 on your card from your deck to your hand and 1 extra resource. So just press that 1 time, otherwise you will get many resources. Yeah. Check hand size. This is just if you click it, it checks, so you are in line with the number of cards that you are allowed to have on your hand. If we extend this to 9, then it says that investigating Days of Warfare has more than 8 cards in hand. This is a good one if you have like 4 characters that you are controlling and you just want to check that everyone has their allowed amount of cards. And then you end to the upkeep phase ends and the round ends. The Mythos cards phase. Place 1 Doom on the agenda. It will place a new Doom token here, so yeah. Draw 1 encounter card. This link will only draw 1 encounter card, so before you do that, you select the investigator that you are drawing for, and then you draw a card, and this will pop up zoomed and ready for you to read. And then you repeat this for every investigator you have. And that's about the actions or the shortcuts that are available in the face card, the round card. Yeah, and then we have a small menu up here where you can switch to the scenario intro if you would like to read that again. You can see the victory display as we talked about earlier. You can check the campaign log wherever you want to do that. And you can also end the scenario. And when you end the scenario, you have to select a resolution. And normally these resolutions are appeared on like the back side of the cards when you have advanced the agenda or the act to the last round, or if you would like to like in this case in the, I think it's the hallway, no, the parlor. I think the parlor has a resign function, and when all of your characters has resigned, you can choose this scenario or this end scenario resolution. One other thing is the links to the Learn to Play and rules references that are direct links to the FantasyFlightGames PDFs that are quite good, and you can read all about the rules. These are the same that are included in the core box. And you can quit to the main menu. If you quit to the main menu, you can also press continue game to go back to where you last ended the game. So this is a way to get back to the current game. You can also have some shortcut like Control Q will do the same, like the quick game. You can have Control S, that will save the current game, so you can save it, and then if you quit and press the load game, you can load the saved game again if you would like to have a save to go back to if all things go bad and you would like to try again. And one thing to keep in mind about the save games is that they are only saved in your local browser. So if you switch browser or switch your device, you can't get your save games, so they are just stored in the browser. I think end scenario, well, you select the resolution and then you have the victory display and the scenario summary, and you get the campaign log where you have some traumas or experience and some campaign notes, and then you get to the next scenario where you can customize the deck, and then you have some more experience, which you can buy some new cards, but then you have to like first get rid of some cards before you can buy a new card, and so on, and then you're ready for the next scenario. This was a short introduction or talk about the UI, and I hope that you'll have fun with this one like I have. I wonder where that card went. Anyway, well, that's all for now, and I hope you have a nice evening. Bye.